So it turns out that trashy reality dating TV shows also work on the internet.
Usually I'm treated like a rose, but when I dated Hassan, I was treated like a cactus because it was so dry so often. It was terrible.
Wait, cactus are full of juices though.
But a recent Twitch dating show that tried to cash in on this trend turned out to be completely fake. Fake contestants, fake host, fake location, all organized by a dude with a fake name. And the strangest part is, it almost worked. Alright, okay, let's do this. You know the drill. Scroll down, hit the subscribe button, it'll make me happy. While you're at it, hit that notification bell. You'll never miss a thing ever again. Over the last few years, dating shows have become extremely popular in the just chatting category of Twitch, thanks in large part to the Austin Show, which was formerly known as the Raj Patel Show. On one of his most popular shows, Lover Host, a bunch of streamers are thrown together in an attempt to win the affection of that day's digital bachelor or bachelorette, while in some cases also becoming Twitch famous in the process. And one of the side effects of these shows are streamers using them as a platform to gain more and more clout. Hassan, Sakuno, and Destiny are just a few of the names who've appeared on one of Austin's shows. Now, a more recent attempt to cash in on this dating show trend was a project called Twitch's Most Eligible. Essentially, it was trying to rip off Lover Host in real life. Instead of having contestants battle it out for one person's attention on stream, Twitch's Most Eligible pledged to fly out small streamers to stay in a mansion and stream a bachelor-style Twitch show on location. All expenses paid, by the way. The only problem was, everything was fake. And we know everything was fake due to Twitch streamers like BX Bullet and Zach Busey doing a little bit of digging and pointing out the very glaring red flags on Twitter. But when she first heard about this project, BX Bullet didn't know what to think.
So I decided to follow them on Twitter and just kind of monitor it. And I told him I would the person who brought it to me, I was like, oh, well, I'll just kind of monitor it and see. It looks like maybe they've got something planned and it's going to get pushed back, but let's just wait and see. Because I didn't have any evidence of them reaching out to people or anything like that.
Okay, let's start with the person who claimed to be the executive producer of this entire thing, Matthew Peltier, or Matt Fox, which is the other name that he uses online. Matthew Peltier apparently works in email marketing, while Matt Fox, literally the same person, used to run a Udemy learning course that was allegedly fake and a waste of time, according to the only person who bothered to leave a review. On top of that, the URL for mattfox.net redirects to twitchesmosteligible.com, and as Zach Busey points out on Twitter, when Matthew Peltier poses as Matt Fox in his emails, he uses a completely different photo. So, you know, we're not off to a great start.
I couldn't find anything linked to him at all, except for his LinkedIn that he had listed there. And his LinkedIn only had like 15 connections. So I thought that was weird if they were trying to spin him into being this like big production network guy with all these connections and all this money. He sure didn't have any kind of online presence at all. And I thought that was weird. You know, if I'd have seen something that was like, oh yeah, this guy's been behind X, Y, and Z productions in the past, I'd probably have let it go. Like, all right, whatever.
Next, let's talk about the email that was sent to hundreds of small streamers. The email includes the same boilerplate text in each one, and the photo of the woman sending the emails, who goes by Brittany Good, is allegedly a photo of a Bollywood actress by the name of Rashmika Mandanna. Once word of this email reached Twitter, dozens and dozens of women started to come forward to say, hey, I've received the exact same one. Here's Zach Busey talking about it on stream.
They must have sent this thing to thousands, if not tens of thousands of people. I don't know how they managed to scrape it. I'm sure they did. I'm sure it's pretty easy to just scrape a profile of an email address or a Twitter account. Especially if you're an email marketer. There was a whole bunch of people in my DMs going, have you heard of this? Have you heard of this? Is this something Twitch is doing? And I'm like, no, it's a scam. It's not anything legitimate.
Also, shout out to him for absolutely grilling Eligible's Twitter account, which has since been deleted. Now, in response to a question about who the hell was funding this enterprise, Twitch's Most Eligible Twitter account responded with, quote, it's 100% self-funded with outside investment by Matt's Reality TV LLC, which is owned by executive producer Matthew Peltier, end quote. If you try to find the website for Matt's Reality TV, well, it looks like this. To be honest, from the digging that I've done, it's impossible to find Matt's reality TV anywhere on the internet. From there, BX Bullet told me that she actually jumped into Twitch's most eligible Discord server using a secondary profile. According to her, what she found were dozens and dozens of women all wondering what the hell was going on. Now, BX Bullet says that she spoke to a mod by the name of Faith Curry. Allegedly, this was the same Faith Curry that Twitch's most eligible hired as its casting director. And like pretty much everyone else attached to this project, there's virtually no information about Faith Curry online, which led a lot of people to speculate that she's not real. Okay, let's quickly run through the rest of what's either fake, sketchy as hell, or just poorly thought out. First, this was supposed to happen during the middle of a pandemic. According to Zach, the mansion in the Appalachian Mountains that was advertised was never actually rented for the time period that the show was supposed to shoot. And oh yeah, one of the bachelors didn't even know he was being advertised as a fucking bachelor. Wings of Death, or Daryl, said that he told somebody from Twitch's Most Eligible's team that he didn't want to participate due to COVID, which, as far as reasons go, is pretty solid. They then asked if they could make a private profile for him, in case he wanted to come on the show in the future. And he said, yeah, sure, whatever, thinking that the show probably wasn't going to happen in the first place. So they then made a profile, slapped his face on all of their marketing, announced him as one of the bachelors, and just didn't tell him. And according to BX Bullet, once he found that out, he was fucking pissed.
You can see that he was really surprised when I brought up that his profile was still up and being used to lure people into the trap, because they were using his clout to just kind of lure people into thinking and convince people into thinking it was legit. And he seemed very concerned.
Now, we do actually have an ending to this story because Matthew Peltier, the guy in charge of all of this, posted a twitlonger on February 15th attempting to explain everything. He starts out by saying that neither him nor the team he assembled were trying to deceive anyone, and that doing an IRL version of Lover Host just seemed like a fun project. According to him, Matt Fox is an alias that he used years ago, and that emails were sent out under the Matt Fox name because that email address is used regularly to send a newsletter out to subscribers. Now, I have no idea why he's using an email address for an alias he used years ago, which seemingly has nothing to do with this show. He says that yes, Faith Curry is a real person and that she streams on Twitch, but he doesn't link her Twitch, and I haven't found anyone resembling the woman depicted in the photo I showed you earlier. Matthew says that they did get permission from Wings of Death to add him to Twitch's Most Eligible's website and marketing, but pulled him down as soon as he asked. Now, remember Brittany Good, the fake person they used a Bollywood actress's photo for? Here's what Matthew had to say about that. Quote, "This is an alias account operated by a staff member on our team who did not want her identity revealed." End quote. When it comes to spamming hundreds of people with that boilerplate email, Matthew says that Twitch's Most Eligible team was working on a tight deadline of March 9th to get everything finished, and so they weren't careful about who they sent that email to. Now, this mass email was sent out around February 14th. So you're telling me that this dumb IRL dating show was supposed to fly out women to a remote location, dealing with all of the logistics that come with that, not to mention it's happening during the middle of a pandemic, and this was all supposed to come together in under a month? Here's how Matthew ends his twitlonger. Quote, "I completely understand why people are skeptical of the show's intentions, given my mistakes in using these fake email accounts. If we're lying about names, then what else are we lying about? Aliases are not cool when you're representing a company, and I should have known better. We take your safety and security concerns very seriously. Even the appearance of impropriety is unacceptable. I've decided to stop the production of the show effective immediately while I discuss next steps among my team." End quote. So yeah, according to him, the show has been put on hiatus for now. Now look, an IRL dating show is not a bad idea. Sticking a bunch of streamers into a house together would probably make for good content. Shit, I know it would. My first episode of this show was about the very worst version of that idea.
We haven't even gotten to the dog shit yet. And yeah, there was a dog, and it shit everywhere.
God, I was bad at this. Anyway, you know what is a terrible idea? Spending less than a month on production, faking a bunch of names and emails, and then saying that you're gonna fly a bunch of women out to a remote location during the middle of a pandemic. So, will we ever see something like this again? Honestly, probably, yeah. fake contestants, fake host, fake something else, fake contestants, fake host, fake flash frames. It's like when you try to put tape around your head when you were a kid. You ever try to like fucking wrap scotch tape around your head? Maybe it was just me.
Nope, you're absolutely a freak of fucking nature.
Yeah, it's pretty much.
To this day, you are a strange.
It's maybe why I didn't have a lot of friends growing up. They just thought I was a fucking weirdo. I mean, they're not wrong, but